Hi, in this video, I'll be going over to show you what grass is and how grass works. Grass is a saving system blueprint utility that is made to enhance and speed up your saving workflow. In typical Unreal Engine, this is how you would save. If this was your player object, you would have to create a struct that is made for the player object. And then in the game state, you have to create something that stores this struct. And then you would have to create the save game. And then you have to write another bunch of code to check if the same game is there or not and stuff. Now, for small studios, for this project is mainly intended for indie studios. So now if you're working on a project, what Grass does is it does all of this automatically for you. So all you have to worry about is adding your variables in the player blueprint and that's it. Grass handles rest everything else. But Grass does not work in a conventional way. Here's how. This is the workflow of Grass. So we'll be starting here in the player. So as a user, your entire work will be in this gray area only. So all you have to do is add your variables and then load your variables all from here itself. Grass does all of the other stuff that is marked in the yellow, green and red. So here's how it works. There are a special blueprint called the save container. This is a blueprint with map values. What it does is it's going to store all of the variables, different types of variables that you create inside of the player. Once you're ready to save and then you hit the save button, this container is going to be converted to a struct. Why? Because Unreal Engine does not support actually saving actor components. So since now it has a data that can be made into a struct, it takes that particular data and converts it into a struct. Along with this, the individual actors generate a GUID. GUID refers to a global unique identifier. This is basically the address of that object. So it stores the GUID with the save container and converts it into a struct. This struct has this container and the player GUID as another struct. And then this data is passed along to a save manager. What the save manager does is it's going to take all of the different types of objects that is in your scene and it's going to take all of their struct and it's going to save them. The entire process works in reverse when it's loading. So from the save object, it's going to send all the struct from the save object to the save manager. Then what the save manager is going to do it's going to read through each of the object and it's going to get a GUID. So if in the first index we have the player, it's going to take the player's index and it's going to take all the objects that has that interface and it's going to run a code matching their GUID. If it finds a proper GUID match, it's going to take that actor's empty save container and then load it with the variables that it received from the save object and it's going to give it back to the player. Now let me show you how it works in Engine. So here in the grass, if I come to my essentials, you'll see all of the essential stuff I have here. This is the save container that has all of the essential products. So here is where it keeps a track of all the variables that you have to save. In the following videos, I'll show you how to save and load variables. Next is the save interface. This interface has nothing but a load game and a save game interface call. This interface will be implemented in all the objects that need grass. And next is the save object, which has a save object struct. If I open up one of these, you should find a container struct that has our map values that is given by our save container. There are many automatic functions that Grass does. So when you call the save package struct, what it's going to do is it's going to take all the information and then make it into a structure. And this structure is then saved along with a GUID that is provided by the container. And that's it. That's how Grass works. It is a simple add on that can speed up your saving workflow.